Hello everyone, this is Alvin Olson, and welcome back to the vlog. Today, I had a really busy day at work. I woke up this morning first off, and I slept in as much as I could because I knew today was going to be busy. Initially, I was going to be working what's known as podium, right? Which means for every guest that walked into the theater, I would be walking them or like basically directing them to the theater they're going to and checking their tickets to make sure they're allowed to be in, right? But it was a Tuesday, right? So, I was like, that sounds stressful because Tuesdays are $5 Tuesday, which are like $8 now. Technically, they're no longer $5, but $5 Tuesday, right? Where the movie tickets are a lot cheaper. So a lot of people come in, we get a lot of guests, and me just standing there because I'm not allowed to move around while I'm on that job, right? It's really stressful because I just always have to keep an eye on everyone, right? And so I ended up swapping with somebody else so that I could just work on food court and cook. So I ended up on grill today, grill and Pizza Hut. And it was I don't know the actual accuracy of this, but from what I've heard from everyone else working, one of our busiest days like ever. Of course, given probably not our busiest day just in the last couple years, right? So I I'm cooking in the kitchen, right? Constantly running around. Yesterday, apparently they removed the seats in the back. So I can't sit down at all. I can't take a break. I can't. Oh my gosh, I'm so bugged by that. I can't at all rest for 8 hours, right? So I'm just standing there working for 8 hours. There's no rests. Other than breaks for lunches and stuff, right? And it was pretty consistent for most of the time. And then as soon as it hit about 4:30, right? I turn around and half of the board is already filled up. Like full of orders within like 5 seconds. And I'm like, "Oh crap. What is going on?" So we're making pizzas left and right. Like we're running out of pizzas as we're making them. It is insanely stressful, right? And luckily, we're not like frying stuff. We're not dealing with fries. We're not dealing with like tater tots and stuff. But my goodness, was it insanely stressful, right? And it calms down for a bit. And then it picks up again and almost doubles for an hour and a half. Oh my God. And so I'm dealing with that like 5 orders every minute for like an hour and a half, rushing them out. Like, slight exaggeration, of course. It's not going to be exact, but it's just no matter what we do, it's just piling up. And so we have, instead of the normal 2 people in the kitchen, we have 5 people cooking in the kitchen just to make sure we can get everything, right? And so, like, for 30 minutes of that, oh, and it slows down like off and on throughout that. So like there's points where it's like maybe 2 orders every like 8 minutes but it's just super chaotic. Running back and forth. I was so stressed out. And it was mostly physical. Like once you're doing that for so long, it's just so draining, right? And I had already agreed to do some streaming with Rev once I got off, right? So knowing that I was going to get off and do that was also very stressful, right? And so it's nearing the end, and I'm just eyeballing the clock at about an hour and a half left, right? Of course, yes, it makes it feel like it's going slower, but I'm also not really able to move very well. It was that physically draining, right? And then we had so today is the release of Moana for context, right? The live action one. And so the last hour and a half of the shift, we have I don't know what culture Moana is, right? I don't remember off the top of my head. I could totally check, but I really don't remember, right? We have them come in, like, we have a bunch of people from that culture come in and full drumming, full chanting, like, the entire room is blaring with drums, right? Super loud. Honestly, it was quite energetic. And I would not have made it through the end of the shift if it wasn't for the music. So I finally get off, finally get a break, and come home, and there's finally food that I'm able to bring to work. I'm not running out of food anymore. People went out of their way to make sure I had what I needed, and it just all solved itself. And of course, my feet still hurt, my back hurts, my arms hurt, everything hurts, right? But I'm quite happy that that's how it ended up by the end of it. I'm very, very pleased. And so, as we speak, I am currently playing Pal World with Rev, um, having a great time talking with a bunch of friends in a call. And I'm staying up late tonight. I'm gonna continue playing this playing after I get off like this recording, and I'm gonna have a great day. But that was my day.